everyone, this is Anne-Marie from Alma Surfside. Thank you so much for joining me for another beading tutorial. For those of you who don't know me, I have an Etsy shop where I sell handmade surf and beach inspired jewelry. And I also have an Instagram account which is Alma Surfside 7. So if you'd like to check out my latest work, be sure to click on both of those links in the description box down below. And for today's beading tutorial, we're going to be going over a flower-like chain. Okay, this is what it looks like here. And I actually used some new materials that I've never used before, so we'll talk about that in just a second. So for those of you who have been watching my channel for a while, you'll remember that we went over a watermelon flower necklace, and that's what the design looks like there. So it has a center, and then of course it has all of the beads contouring that center component, as well as smaller beads on the outside. Okay, so this version that we're going to go over today does not have a center component. Instead, it's just 4 beads, size 8, going around the circle, and then size 11s that we're going to be using. So it's more of an abstract flower, but it still gives you that feel. Okay, so those are the differences. I will include a link to this particular necklace in the description box down below, just in case you prefer to work on this one instead of the one that we're going to go over today. But I just wanted to compare and contrast the two before we got started. So in terms of beading supplies, what you're going to need today is fire line. And you guys know that I love to work with 6 pound or 0.006. So you'll need that as your thread. And in the first pile on my mat here, under size 8s, you see these new beads. Now normally I work with Toho seed beads, but in this case I've decided to use John bead size 8s, which are Czech seed beads. And the reason for that is just because of the color. I recently went into Michael's here in Canada, and I noticed that they had switched out a lot of their old seed beads and brought in a new collection. And this was part of that new collection. So these are called Finalizing seed beads, in case you're interested. And the color that I've chosen is light pink matte. So anyways, I found a bit of information online about this new Finalizing collection, and it says that the color palette includes 22 shades of pastel colors in pearl gloss and matte versions. And it says that they're mechanical and chemical resistant. I'm not sure really what that means. And that they've used ecological water-based dyes, okay, on this collection. So this is brand new. So yeah, I was really impressed with the way they switched out a lot of the seed beads. I noticed that they have Tohos and Miyukis and a lot of sort of specialty beads like gem duos, a lot more super duos. Just a wide variety of new colors and different shapes. So be sure to check out Michael's if you haven't been there in a while, because I think you'll be quite impressed with the selection. This is not sponsored, by the way, so I just wanted to put that out there. Anyways, as we look on our mat in the second pile here, you see size 11 seed beads, and these ones are turquoise and they're opaque matte finished. Okay. In the next pile, I have size 11 seed beads, and these are in opaque matte white. I don't have the label anymore, but anyways, I remember that these are opaque matte white. And the size 11s that I'm using are from Toho, okay? And in the last pile there, the fourth pile on my mat, you see size 15 seed beads, and these ones are in galvanized silver, again by Toho, okay? So we're mixing and matching today with Czechs and Tohos. And you'll also need 2 jump rings, okay, for the closure at the very end of your project. And you'll also need a lobster claw, of course a beading needle, as well as scissors to cut your fire line. And you'll also need flat nose pliers just to work with the jump rings at the end of the project. Okay, so go ahead and gather all your materials and let's get started. Okay, so to get my beading project started, I've attached my beading needle here to my fire line, And I always start with an arm's length worth of fire line. As you guys know, it's just whatever's manageable for you to work with. And I'm going to start off by picking up 4 of my size 8 Permalux check beads in pink. Okay, and I'm going to push those down on my needle and my thread, leaving a bit of a tail here, 6 to 10 inches or so, just so you can finish off your project at the very end with the closure. And you're going to insert your needle into the very first bead there in your row. One of my viewers was asking the other day whether or not you could do the closure, at the beginning of the project instead of waiting until the very end. And of course you can do the loop closure at this point. But I just prefer to go over, the beading pattern first and then the closure at the very end, just for, the sake of chronology. But yeah, of course you can include the loop as soon as you get started and then get it out of the way and just carry on. Okay, so anyways, my working thread is coming out of this bead here on the left, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and pick up one of my size 11 beads in white. So I'm coming out of the left and I'm going to go down the bead that's sitting there on the right hand side. Okay, and pull on my thread. So now we have another empty gap here around our flower. I'm coming out of the left side and I'm going to put my needle down the right side. Okay. Rotate your piece and we're ready for another white bead in size 11. I'm coming out of the left bead and I'm going to go down the next one. Okay, and now I'm ready for a turquoise bead in size 11. Coming out of the left bead and I'm going to go down the one on the right. Okay, so that creates our flower shape. And now I'm coming out of the size 8 pink bead here, and I'm just going to insert my needle into the size 11, the next one. Okay, and now we're ready to create a connector. So I want you to go ahead and pick up one size 15 in silver. Okay, another size 11 in white, and a size 15 in silver. Okay, 3 beads on your needle. And you're going to go through the opposite side of that white bead sitting there at the top of your flower. Okay. Pull on your thread, and of course you can reinforce that little connector by going through all of the beads that you just added on. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's what you should have so far. And now we're ready to create another flower shape. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up a total of 4 more of my size 8 beads. There we go. And I'm going to go through the opposite side of the white seed bead sitting there at the top. Okay, I'm going to put my needle through the first pink seed bead. Okay, and I'm going to pick up a turquoise seed bead in size 11. Go down the next bead. Okay, I'm going to pick up a white seed bead, size 11. And go down the next bead. Okay, so all we're doing right now is just filling in the empty gaps around the flower. I'm picking up a turquoise bead, size 11, and I'm going to go down the pink bead as well as the white bead. Okay, so that little flower component is complete. And now I just need to work my needle around to the top where the size 11 white bead is up here. Okay, so let me just get my needle and go around the circle. There we go. And it's also important to pull tight as you're doing this flower chain, because you don't want you know, any loose threads within each flower for a bulkier flower, right? You want to make sure that it's nice and taut as you're working your way down. Okay, so now I'm ready for another connector, which means I'm going to pick up a 15 in silver, a size 11 in white, and another size 15 in silver. Okay, I'm going to go through the opposite side of this white bead here. Pull on my thread. I'm going to reinforce the connector by going through all of the beads that I just added on. And back up to the top. Okay, so I want to be exiting the white size 11 seed bead. Okay. And now I'm ready to create another little flower. So again, we're going to pick up 4 of our size 8 seed beads. Okay. I'm going to go through the opposite side of this bead here at the top and pull on my thread. Insert my needle into the very first bead, the pink one. Okay. And now I'm ready to pick up a turquoise bead in size 11 and go down the next bead. Okay, at the top we're going to include a white bead, size 11. Okay, and a turquoise bead, same size. Okay, go down through the pink and white bead there at the bottom of your flower. Pull tight on your thread. Okay, and then we're going to work our needle around to the top of the flower so that we're exiting the white bead. There we go. Okay, so that's what we have so far in our chain. You can see how quickly you can do it. I mean, once you memorize the steps, there's really nothing to it. It's a very basic pattern, but I think it's really cute and perfect for spring and summer. So anyways, let's go through that one last time, just so that you guys have a clear idea of what you're doing, and then I'll go over the closure at the end of the video. Okay, so we're gonna do the connector by getting one of our 15s, 11, 15, and we're going to go through the opposite side of the white bead. Okay, pull on our thread, reinforce that little connector by going through all of the beads that you just added on. And step up through the silver and white bead right there. Okay, and now, as you guessed, we're going to pick up another 4 pink beads in size 8. Go through the opposite side of your white bead, sitting there at the top. Pull on your thread. Get your needle through the very first pink bead. Okay, pick up a turquoise bead, size 11. Okay, here at the top we're going to insert a white bead in size 11. Another turquoise. Go through the pink and white bead there at the bottom of the flower. Okay, and then work your needle up to the top of the flower. So going through the size 8 in pink, 11, 8, 11, and there you go. You're back to the start, right? Okay, so I think that should give you a good idea of how to create this beaded chain. And let me just go get my other piece that I've almost finished, and we'll go over the closure together. Okay, so I've gone ahead and done the closure on the other side of my necklace. So this is what it looks like. I just do a standard loop closure with most of my projects. So I've used a total of 7 seed beads in size 15, okay, on this side. And I've attached my needle on the other side, and I'm now coming out of the white bead sitting there at the top of the flower, okay, right there. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So again, you're going to go ahead and pick up 7 of your size 15 beads. And if for some reason you want to use size 11 beads, you can definitely do that. And because those beads are a little bit larger, you're going to probably use 5 if you want to use size 11s. So how many do I have here? I have 3, 4, 5. Let's get 2 more. Okay, a total of 7 there on my needle. So 4 and 3. Push those down on your thread, and you're just going to go through the opposite side of the white bead that you're coming out of. Okay, right there. And that creates the circle. Okay, and then of course you're going to want to reinforce that circle by going through all of the beads that you just added on. Okay, and you're also going to go back down the white bead there at the top of your flower. Okay, and pull tight. So that creates the loop shape. And then you can go down, let's say, the first pink bead. And go on the inside of your shape there and tie off a knot. Okay, make sure it's nice and tight. And then you can go down, let's say, the size 11 and the size 8 and do another knot. Okay, by going through the inside of your flower and then creating a knot right there on the outside. Okay, I'm pulling tight to make sure that's nice and secure. And then of course you're going to cut off the excess thread there. Okay, put it off to the side. Pick up your flat nose pliers and one of your jump rings. Let's see, I'm going to open this one up here and insert it through one of the loops. Close it up and open up the other jump ring. Attach your lobster claw. Okay, and then go through the other loop there on the other side and close it back up. Okay, so that's your closure. You're going to attach your lobster claw to the jump ring on the other side, right there, and that's what creates the closure for your necklace. Okay. So anyways, that concludes our very easy tutorial for today. I thought you guys deserved a bit of a break given all the difficult projects that I've been doing lately. So yeah, it's a really easy one to do, and I think it's super cute with the color combination of pink and blue and white and silver. I think it's a really fun, you know, youthful piece, and definitely appropriate for spring and summer. And of course, if you prefer the other necklace, this one here that has a center, I'll include a link to this project as well in the description box down below. And in the comments section, I'm really curious if you guys have seen the new bead display at Michael's. I'm just wondering what you think of it, if you're happy with the changes. I'm extremely happy myself because, you know, I've never seen that many different colors and just different options from Miyuki to Toho to the check beads. Like there's just, you know, a much wider selection that we just haven't had access to. In case you don't know, in Canada, we don't have Hobby Lobby, so I have to actually travel to the States just to be able to buy beads at Hobby Lobby. And I noticed that their selection is quite a bit bigger. So, yeah, anyways, leave me a comment and let me know how you feel about the changes. And yeah, that's it for today. I hope you enjoy wearing your beautiful flower chain. And I'll see you in the next video. Okay, take care. Bye for now.